Yeah, so we'll get started here just in a minute. I want to do a quick update for everybody, just kind of show everybody where we are and what to be expecting into the afternoon. As I feel, the market's kind of done its thing. For me personally, it's time for a beach trade and just kind of relax for the rest of the day. It's beautiful here. And so we'll go over the ES futures, look at some of these charts that we went over this morning, kind of talk them through, and see what we can expect for the rest of the day. So give me 1 second as we get closer to a couple things here. Tesla, SPY, ESF, go over all of these. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, whatever else. We'll see. All right, so I'm not going to wait around. I'm not going to record this, but I am streaming, so you can go back to YouTube and check it out. My overall target that I'm looking for is 415. We'll go to the bigger screen, kind of talk through this, and show you what happened this morning in high insight, right? But not really, because I showed you how to enter this trade and stay in this trade for today. And so we're going to take it to a 5 minute because that's where we left off this morning. First off, we waited for price to come down into resistance. We had a little bit of a hard time there. The PMZ, the trendy script, held very well as we were looking for it to do because what do we do before we assess this? We understand where our levels of support are, but also taking a look at the weekly and the daily trend according to trendy methodology, and it was bullish. So therefore, we were looking for this level to hold. Price has pushed up into our first target, which was 410.88. You can see we're getting a little bit of a pullback again. My target for today is well, it was supposed to be for Monday. It could be this week. So looking at possible 415. I want to see, give me 1 second. I want to make sure I got filled on some of my butterflies. I did. So I just trimmed some of those that we talked about this morning as we got closer to our target up here. I also took SHOP for a couple points to the upside, maybe 4 or 5 points, something like that. What else did we do? We did some SPY that we sold this morning. But most importantly, you should be wondering, well, John, where are we headed now? Let's look at today's trend. I want to go ahead and measure this move with Fibonacci, and then I want to talk about the clouds a little bit. So let's do that. We're going to come up to the high. I would expect support between 411.60 and 410.87. If that breaks, then the rest of today's trend could be broken, but those bets are not off unless we start to go ask under 409. Okay, so I know a lot of people are gunning and looking for a pin around 4100 or 410 in the SPY, and that could come true, but will they make it that easy? They haven't made it that easy the entire week. So again, your support level is around 411 by 410. This is a 5 minute chart. I like to go to the 10 minute for a nice clean trend day. So again, that cloud is pretty confluent with this 411.60 level. I would expect support in here. A trending day means we should stay above the cloud, especially on a 10 minute. Now, remember, commit to the candle. What that means is just because we dip into this cloud does not mean that the trend is over. Commit to the close of the candle, and as long as it's closing above the cloud, things are looking pretty good to the upside here. Again, support here, we could dip in there, but wait to see if we actually close underneath these major levels. All right, that's SPY. Let's go over here into Tesla. Great trade today because intraday I gave you a target to begin with. Yesterday I gave you the bigger target, and that worked to the tick, and it worked all the way up until the trendy edge, guys. I cannot make this up. I gave you a target today of 754.31, and as you can see, your entry was this box this morning. We broke out of the PMZ. Your stop or your trim or your close was right here at 754. Beautiful representation of the trendy edge. It doesn't get any better than that. This is where you'd be trimming. This is where you're going long. Not bad for a $30 move to the upside, okay? So again, that is Tesla. All right, let's go ahead and move through a couple other trades. TTWO. This is from a buddy of mine. I followed his trade on this. This was nice. Took some profits off of the beginning right up here into this pivot high. And we're just trying to build out there, kind of like the ES futures and the SPY. If we start to break down those major levels, you could see price come back into the 125. I'm looking at the bigger picture though. This is a swing trade. I've already trimmed some for profits. Myself, I'm looking for targets up towards 131.28 to 135, and your support level is 122.32. All right. Let me go through a couple more things just to make sure we got everything. All right, we took shop. That made some money. TTWO made some money. I have some trim still set in for that as well. GS, I'm still in. And let's keep going across here. All right, that's it in the margin account. So that's great. Let's go over to the smaller account. We were able to make, let's see what we made over here. We'll go to our small account. And we made 53% on Mara, so that was a nice trade as well. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Futsu came all the way back as well. That was positive a little bit earlier. It is flat. They do expire next week, so just keep that in mind. We have a short week. And far as the small account, meaning cash account, is concerned, Mara made money. Futsu is flat, and Baba, what we did is we made money and then we rolled into a lotto for today. And unfortunately, these guys, they're kind of taking all day. I have to tell you this story. So I woke up this morning and my eyes were a little blurry, and I looked at my phone to see where Baba was at this morning. I was looking through everything, and I thought it said 98, and I got super excited. But then as I started to wake up even more, I realized the 8 was a 3. They were down about $1, and so that lotto at this moment, with still 3.5 hours left, where it doesn't look like it's going to work unless we get some kind of crazy push towards the end of the day. There's a lot of things that I think look interesting. A lot of things that I thought looked interesting for the last several days. I think that it's important to understand the bigger picture. So I'm going to take you to that before we close this session. I just want to give you, again, a quick update on this afternoon, this week, and so forth. I believe what's happened here is first we worked with the 4-hour, the daily, and then the weekly. And what I mean by that is on the 4-hour, we had divergence. We cleared that divergence and we moved through the cloud. On the daily, we had divergence and we moved up into the cloud. So this is the 4-hour. We moved out of that cloud. We're moving towards the trendy edge up here towards 4171 on ES futures. Daily, we moved into the cloud. That cloud then became support. And again, we're looking for that move into the trendy edge, which is around 41.71. And we do have some selling pressure there. Notice we were looking for this lower edge here. And that doesn't mean we can't come back and test that, but I just want you to keep into consideration. It doesn't have to touch, but for right now, there is just a few points that we missed here to the downside, but we could see that we were rounding out, and so we started that cycle up and we followed that cycle up. Let's go over to the weekly. This is where I think it's at. I feel like, these are my most important time frames, and you have to be able to switch through those. So we worked on the 4-hour. We did what we needed to do. On the daily, same thing. But now on the weekly, we still have divergence left between current price and the cloud. And to me, nothing says a magnet more than this. I have the EMA cloud and I have a trendy edge. I have price here, and we'd be looking to, on an exuberant close for today. If we don't pin at 4,100, you could see this. And I'm telling you this right now, I'm thinking credit spreads into the close if we, for some reason, hit this. So we'll close out the butterflies, close out most of the long positions or raise stops. And if we get stopped out, fine, we'll be going into Tuesday. Remember, Monday we're off. We'll be going into Tuesday with mostly cash. But again, we would be closing into resistance. And I just want to show you that it's very important that you understand that if for some reason we get up here towards 41.70. Now that's some ways away, right? Let's just put an alert right here. That's 41.69. We're at 41.24. I don't see anything pushing us that hard into close. So we could just kind of drift sideways here. Potential for a 4150 pin. And then again, for anyone that's shooting for 4100, I hope you get it. I hope that all of you have done very well. I do believe this is the analysis that plays out. If for some reason we do not hit this edge, again, I don't see that. It's a low probability. But if we don't see this, this is a magnet for me, and it makes me feel as if Tuesday we will gap up into this level, and if that's the case, I'll be definitely looking at credit spreads if we stay underneath that level. All right, if you guys don't have any questions, again, I really appreciate you. Don't forget to check us out at trendytrading.co. Have a great 3-day weekend. I really appreciate you. See you soon.